यूट्यूब पे तो लाइव जा रहा है आई थिंक, बट फेसबुक पे नहीं जा रहा, कुछ एरर दिखा रहा है।
अच्छा अच्छा। होता है कभी कभी, sometimes it happens that it doesn't go easily on YouTube. Try once again, or if it goes.
ओके, इट स्टार्टेड ऑन यूट्यूब जस्ट, इवन दैट पार्ट। ओके, just let me share the link.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yes, Mayur. It has been started.
Okay.
Okay. So first of all, thank you so much,
Hello.
Mayur, for joining for this session. And today with
Yes, yes.
us is Mayur. He's basically a EFT coach. And today he's going to talk about how EFT can help us in overcoming addiction, whether it is emotional addiction or addiction related to consumption. So welcome, Mayur, and just tell us about yourself, how you got to this topic of first EFT and then into the addiction, like that how EFT can help us in overcoming addiction.
My first encounter, Priya, to EFT was around 2018, where I was reading several self-help books. Okay, and at that time, while going through, then I came across Margaret Lynch, Tap into Wealth.
Yeah.
For the first time at that moment, I got to know about EFT. But to be honest, at that time, I didn't understand much about it, like how it is working, and I was little bit skeptical. So there was one another channel who was demonstrating about EFT, but still I was not that much, very much serious about it. Then in again 2021, again one more encounter came. Still I took very lightly. Then my sinus issue was there, where sinus issue was very, very prominent. And I was searching for acupressure points. In sinus, we acupressure over here, like this, or
Okay.
here, or here. And slowly, slowly, by AI, then again EFT came. And some video popped up that tapping for your nose related or runny nose or something. Then I thought that okay, let me try. Then I tried it and I got results. So then I give it. Then I thought like, wow, this technique, if it is coming repeatedly in my life, then there must be something
Mm.
which I need to now give it into
Yes.
seriously. Then I started using EFT for almost every issue in my life, because what I believe is, if it works for one thing now, it has the potential to work for all other things also.
True.
And one habit I have, means I had one habit of watching MTV shows,
Okay.
binge watching. Like, once I start to watch, uh, it will hardly stop. So I also thought that why not to try EFT for this, because obviously this is also a pattern
Mhm.
that is formed. And just within 3 days of EFT tapping, my mind actually got reversed. Like,
Okay.
I didn't feel like watching now. It was such a profound effect. Then recently, like as I'm living in a hostel, and our cycle repairing chacha is there. He came to me and he just randomly, like, I have this habit of smoking and all those things. So I just demonstrated him. You have to just repeat it after me what I'm doing, and just keep doing it. If any doubt erupts, just I'm here only. You can just again ask me. So he also started to do, and then after a few days, he also said that now I don't get urge of smoking. So
Okay.
this is how. I got like EFT is the best technique then
Okay.
to
And
break the patterns.
and one question is, one thing is doing tapping on yourself, that you are practicing EFT. Then how do you decide it, and why did you decided that you want to become an EFT coach, and like from being a practitioner to like being a coach? What made you do that transition? Usually people keep like, I can use it for myself only and that is enough. But what motivates
Yes.
you to being a coach?
What motivates me to being a coach is because if it is helping me, and if similar problem is occurring in other people,
Mhm.
then why not to share with others? Then why not to tell others also that please use this? Because I myself see people are going to, now when I come to emotional addiction, people are going to psychiatrists and people are going to wellness counselors actually, and they don't get result. And apart from that, when it comes to any consumption addiction, people try to pop on pills or something. Then I thought that if I'm getting the benefit, then there is something wrong if I'm not sharing with others. And uh, people will, today or tomorrow, people will definitely ask me that what are you doing? And today or tomorrow, people will follow us, because if we are showing something to the world now, so showing some result to the world, the world notices us. And then the world gets curious, and then they start to ask, like, exactly what do you do?
Yeah.
Tell us also.
Yes.
So today or tomorrow I have to share, then why not to become a coach myself and then to share with the people? That's the best approach to do. This is the reason.
And one thing which I have realized, Mayur, like for any addiction, it is just some emotion that we are trying to escape. So do you also think like it is not just about the addiction of things, it is just trying to escape certain emotions? Sometimes people go to food to escape that emotion, sometimes they go to work, or sometimes to
Hmm.
alcohol or other things. But basically, people are trying to avoid certain emotions by doing indulging in these addictions. So do you also find some correlation between the emotions and the addiction?
One of the emotion, but the ground, what I'm experiencing with addiction, the ground belief or ground basis is I want to be safe. At any cost I want to be safe. For
Okay.
example, our mind has a very weird nature. Suppose the mind is in danger, or it is worrying constantly, and if it is not able to handle the situation, then the mind finds for quick solution or the quick instant gratification thing, because its basic nature is to make us survive at any cost.
Mhm.
Either fight with the challenge,
Situation.
or either face the challenge, or if you're not able to face the challenge, then do something to have a protective shell, to have a shell through which you can't see the challenge directly, or you can't face the heat of the challenge directly. Then mind does something to have that envelope. And this is how the birth of addiction takes place. The base is actually to feel safe.
Okay. And sometimes that protection may be illusion only, because maybe in the short term we are getting protected, but in the long term those addictions are harming us, but we are not able to see that because we are feeling
Yes.
protected at that moment.
Yes, exactly. Like, for example, if suppose we are in our families now, and I have a constant pattern of worrying about future, about future, and if I'm always joyous, if I'm
Mhm.
always blissful,
Mhm.
then what I'm doing, I am against from my family. And family has a certain trait which is running through their whole life and pattern. And if I do that, they will start to criticize me, like a lot more rather than I'm worrying about the future. So mind starts to think that if I'm joyous and blissful, it will hurt me a lot. It will make me very much unsafe for my survival because now my family is criticizing me. Even though the family is not criticizing, but still, my subconscious mind will know that now I'm not belonging to this family because I am somewhere different, or I am having some different patterns. So in a way, I am separated. Na? So once I'm separated, then my mind will start thinking, "Oh no, I am separated. I am not with my family. So this is something bad, or this I should not do. If I do this, then my family will not be with me, and I will also, then another emotion will come, like guilt.
Mhm.
How can I be so happy that if my family is like that? So the one part is this. Second part is when it comes to consumption, like if I'm having something to instant self gratification or instant gratification, again the same thing is, I don't want to face the problem, I don't want to face the challenge, I want to feel safe right now, that's it. And at any case, and once I feel I once my mind registers that yes, this activity makes me feel safe, this activity makes me get onto the another dimension of world where there is no problem, where there is no challenge, then wow, then I'm feeling safe now. Then I should do this regularly on the regular basis, and I don't care what body is thinking. Body will ultimately follow mine. So this what happens in both the scenarios.
Okay. Even like in one of like my topic for PhD is also social media. So one of the reason for people being addicted to social
Hmm.
media is they want to escape the reality. They want to escape the life struggles, because when
Yes.
they go into the real life, they have to face those challenges, and they just don't want to face them. So to escape that, they just feel like social media is relaxed. Even after using that social media, they feel like I have wasted my time. I'm feeling guilty, but in that moment they are just escaping whatever challenges they are facing, so that really motivates them to use social media. So you really correctly said. And one thing also that you realize said that it is also related to our needs, like social need. We want to be belong, and when we are different from our surroundings, then there is a feel of like, am I doing something wrong? Maybe you are doing correct thing, but you are not belonging to the current thought patterns, current emotions. Then a kind of a disconnect we feel, and maybe because of that disconnect we may feel like going back to that pattern, because at least there are so many people who are following the same pattern, even if it is not in terms of belief, in terms of emotion, maybe it is not right for us, but at least it is familiar. So I think that is
Yes.
yeah, right reason that people just want to feel connected. And if they feel connected by following the same emotional patterns, same beliefs, then because of that they fall back to those habits, those patterns. So that is
Yes.
very true. Okay.
Yes, and we have multiple parts also because there is one part who is addicted to addiction. There is another part who says this is wrong. We should not do this, and this is the reason why we have guilt and why we have shame, or why we have the other emotions also, because there is not a single part. However, with time, that part starts to play a dominant role in our lives. But nevertheless, we have all the parts in us, and they try to interplay in order to define our personality. But obviously the addiction, once my actually it's all about mind. Once mind finds anything pleasurable,
Mhm.
and a tool to avoid the pain, or tool to avoid that challenge, the heat of that challenge, then that mind will run after it, no matter how much the body is under stress because of that addiction. So that kind of
Okay.
thing is there.
So basically, again, the pain and pleasure principle. Either we are avoiding pain,
Yes.
either we are seeking pleasure. No matter whether it is good for us, sometimes even pain is right for us. But this tendency of
Hmm.
avoiding pain makes us do some things that, like, we feel like maybe making sales or making growing, challenging our belief would be painful, so we go back to the old patterns. Sometimes the pleasurable thing, maybe it is food,
Yes.
alcohol, social media, they may be wrong in the long run, but we find that pleasure in those activities, so we are more likely to stay to those activities. That's very
Yes.
true. Okay.
And
And
another thing about emotional one is, people have never felt the true joy and true bliss actually. And the thing that I have never felt truly, how am I gonna feel it wholeheartedly? Means I'm since living in my clan, in my society, a particular society. That conditioning is so profound on my mind. How am I gonna live? That is a huge resistance also to break the addiction. Consumption also. When you are consuming something, your mind has got so much conditioned and resistance, a huge, extremely huge resistance is there. Two resistances: first leaving this pleasure, and but after this you have got more weak actually psychologically, and then the person fears more and more, and this is the reason with time it grows. And it's some same it applies to our emotions also, because we have never experienced true bliss. So
Yeah.
this is the reason.
Okay. And if you want to like to share any result that has really amazed you, maybe not by yourself, maybe in the community, in your like where you felt like this is way more powerful than I think.
Priya, actually, your
Okay.
screen got freeze a little bit.
Is it like, am I visible now?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I'm asking like any result that really inspired you that yes, EFT is way more useful than just a simple technique, like some result that really made you believe in tapping, that this is not just simple, it is really very powerful and very like underrated, because there are so many
Yes,
modality, like even I am like in this self-help field, there are so many modality, hoponopono,
true.
reiki, affirmations, and there are so many modalities, but what really made you like no, this is the particular technique that I really want to go forward in my life with.
See, Priya, actually, all the techniques are very powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, but I will give you an analogy that why other techniques don't work effectively as EFT. Uh, I'm believing personally. I am sitting in the room and I have glasses which are totally sunproof. But sunlight is very good for our health.
Yeah.
It comes in our room, then we find very healthy. But I have those glasses which never allows sunlight. Then what's the use of that sunlight then? Even if it is of full power and full sunny summer. So similarly, we have certain blocks, we have certain resistances, and through tapping, those resistances start to dissolve. It's like we are looking at our room, that what is wrong in our room. We don't, so obviously in every technique it is already told that there is something with us. But with EFT, it literally starts to address. It literally starts to open the drawers. Like what is there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me find out now.
Yeah.
I should remove it. But otherwise, in other techniques, what we try to do is we try to somewhere decorate the house.
Yeah.
Okay, but something is there in the drawer which
True.
is missing,
Yeah.
and we have not checked. We have just decorated the house or just cleaned the house superficially. So this is the reason. It is EFT does that. EFT just goes to the core. Again, it depends on how we use it and how long we use it. Core. But yes, this and one of the testimony, very powerful testimony, and it is working for other people also now. What is the most troubling issue right now? It's of relationship and heartbreaks.
Yeah.
And so I demonstrated this same technique for because I also do talk therapy and all those things. But what I personally see is talk therapy, the person feels better at that only moment. But after when the person goes and sleeps at the night now, the mind starts to haunt about
Yeah.
those memories again and again. So I just demonstrated EFT tapping to break the pattern, and that girl did for 3 days religiously, and now she is extremely neutral about the heartbreak. She's like, it's okay, I'm happy now. So the loop has been disturbed. The loop that was like constantly going
Hmm.
has been broken up now.
Okay. And one thing which I have realized, even I was like reading about the tapping, then one thing that really differentiate tapping from the traditional talk therapy is when we talk, maybe the thoughts get released from our mind, but our body is storing those emotions, maybe from the heartbreak. She must be holding those emotions.
Yes,
अनलेस जब तक वो जो सिर्फ उस चीज के बारे में जो बात करेगी वो जो लूप है वो जो चल रहा है बट वो इमोशन बॉडी से रिलीज नहीं हो रही बट व्हेन शी
yes,
टैप एंड रिलीज और जो भी वट एवर शी फेल्ट लाइक देन व्हेन शी टैप एंड टोल्ड ऑल दोस थिंग्स देन वो इमोशन बॉडी से रिलीज हुए होंगे दैट इज व्हाई दैट इम्पैक्ट गेट रियलाइज्ड इन लाइफ बिकॉज आई हैव रियलाइज्ड कि अदरवाइज आप प्रॉब्लम के बारे में बात करते रहो इंटेंसिटी कम होगी बट वो आपकी लाइफ से नहीं जाएगा बट जब आप जो है वो उसके बारे में जो है वो टैप करते हुए बात करते हैं तो रियली इट फील्स लाइक कि हमारी बॉडी हर चीज से कनेक्टेड है तो वो जो इवेंट्स हुआ उसके जो इमोशंस है वो भी आज भी हमारी बॉडी में स्टोर हैं तो व्हेन वी टैप तो वो इमोशन रिलीज हो जाते हैं और अल्टीमेटली जब इमोशन रिलीज हो गए तो वो एक जस्ट मेमोरी है एक थॉट है कि हो गया इट इज ओके तो आई फेल्ट
yes,
लाइक
true.
कि या
Because वही वाली बात है, emotions, the nature of emotions is to get stored into the body.
या
That's true. They get stored.
या
They get stored in the body.
एंड इवन आई
And mind
रियलाइज
also,
या ओके
यार मुझे और भी बहुत सारे काम करने हैं, सो क्यों मैं, चलो थोड़ा सा अभी डंप कर देते हैं इसको, तो
या
ये भी, एंड इट इज ऑलवेज द केस when we are faced with challenges, our fight and flight response gets activated, and all other things other bodily mechanisms are compromised, and in that wake, the body starts to suffer, and all those nervous system, the emotions then starts to flow into the body and get trapped into the body, because our body is not just a piece of flesh. It is actually a whole circuit, an electrical circuit that we have.
I feel
It
like it
is
is a
totally connected.
canvas. It is a canvas. It is getting printed all the emotions, all the memories. And if you feel like you have forgotten something, your body is still remembering. So do tap and
Our
identify.
a nice analogy. Our body is like printed circuit board.
Yeah.
Like there are several aspects of printed circuit board, and there are several of connections, and even one is broken off or one is having some issue, everything gets affected.
Yeah.
So that kind of thing. Our body and mind are very, very strongly connected.
Okay. So Mayur, would you like to take one session of addiction, any addiction that you feel like that we can tap on along with you, so that we can release that addiction. This addiction maybe could be related to emotion or anything. Just to let us know, on which topic we can do tapping for addiction.
Okay, I can give demonstration on worrying about future confidence,
Okay, addiction. It is addiction. Like it is obvious
because
to
it has,
worry. Yeah,
it is addiction. It is addiction.
yeah,
It is not a natural thing, because people, because it increases with time. Anything increases with time, it is addiction.
okay,
Because worry it is not na, like it is okay, chalo मैंने आज चिंता कर ली, अभी कल से नहीं करूंगा, but कल और little bit it will increase, because the
true.
mind is getting conditioned to that somewhere. तो
हाँ,
ये चीजें हैं.
कि even we are conditioned कि भी जो टेंशन नहीं ले रहे कैसे इंसान हो.
हाँ, and
ब-
बहुत होता है कि like we are, first of all, we are not living in the society who are spiritual monks. We are living in a normal society, and obviously we have a huge conditioning about what to think.
yeah,
We feel that I'm independent. We feel that I am independent thinker. I have my own life and my own rules. But in reality, we are already shaped by what should we think and what should we respond to any situation.
And even how should we feel? Because sometimes there are certain emotions that we are conditioned that in this situation you should feel sad, in this situation you should feel tensed. How can you not take tension or not feel sad? Because I think that is also conditioned.
Even a 95% student gets 80%. A huge form of guilt takes place in his mind that I have done something wrong, I'm not good enough. So
Yeah.
then it starts to build up over time. That once, and there is one agenda also sticks to it. Like once I prove or once I achieve this, I'm worthless, and I have to do this. And he will also spend his whole life in proving that I'm like I'm doing this, or I'm up to the par. But then what happens, then other things matter to him less, because if I do this, my parents will not get happy, or society will not praise me. Then why should I do this? What's the point in doing this? I will do this. Mind thinks in this way.
Okay. Basically, we go behind things to prove to ourselves that I'm good enough. And once we achieve, there is something always out there that makes us feel whether we are good enough or not. Then there is a third layer, there is a fourth layer. So it is a constant loop where we never feel we are good enough. True.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
We,
So
yeah. Can we do it one round of
uh,
tapping?
yes, yes, yes. For
Yeah.
example, for worry, let's first acknowledge that I worry a lot
Yeah.
about future and every mundane things in the life. Okay, let's start. Uh, I worry a lot about future.
Wrong future.
Uh, I constantly worry
I
if
constantly worry
anything wrong, if anything wrong happens in my life,
if anything wrong is happening in my life.
even if a small issue comes in my life. I start to get tensed. I start to get stressed. I worry a lot. Initially, I was not worrying that much, but who knows? My childhood, in my childhood, several of the things were restricted. Even though I have enjoyed material things in my childhood, but what about emotional uh, medicine? What about emotional satisfaction? So now we can, once we have acknowledged, we can now start. Even though I have the habit of worrying about future constantly, I still choose to safely and openly explore the possibility that why I have this habit. Even though I have this habit of worrying a lot, I still choose to completely acknowledge this situation and feelings that I'm feeling. Even though I tend to worry a lot in my imagination, I still choose to completely acknowledge my pattern. Actually, I don't know exactly from where it came, but it is there in my system. Maybe as a child, when I was helpless or when I was dependent on my parents, subconsciously, I have to, or had to tune with them in order to feel secure, feel connected, and feel one with the family. At that time, I didn't foresee that what will the consequences. But extremely difficult for me now. It is very easy to the life session. It takes the hell out of me. I'm not able to implement at all, and I'm very honest about it now because नहीं होता. There are hundreds of healers out there. There are hundreds of motivational speakers out there. In the presence of them, I feel very good. I feel very much blissful. But when I'm around my people, my responses start to trigger, and let some challenge come in my life, then my real me starts to come. However, it's not the real me. Is that ego or is that apparent self? But still, for time being, I will, as I'm in this materialistic body, I will call it as a real me. So it is not the case that I don't want to change this, but actually I feel extremely helpless. And I also know that if I stay happy, then people will criticize me, and then people will know say कि अरे तुझे तो कोई टेंशन नहीं है, तेरा तो सब सही चल रहा है. But you know what is lacking in my life? It is not the just the blissful thing. It is also the connection with that supreme power, which is I am really missing that. Doing a puja or going a temple or any religious act I do, I feel positive, no doubt about it. But the question is, am I really connected? Had I been connected really to the supreme power, I would not have worried for petty issues. That's true. So there is no one reason behind my this. There are several aspects which are lying down, and one of is disconnection with my family. Another thing is I have never experienced these emotions. I truly I don't know what bliss is. वो नहीं होता है मुझसे. वो जैसी ही some situation happens, I आ जाता है मेरे नेचर में वो चीज. I I also try, but मैं चाहकर भी उसको कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकता. And it spontaneously comes. It's my nervous system spontaneously fires off, and I start to just get some reactions in my body, and some words starts to come from my mouth, and even if some words don't come, then in my mind a huge voice starts to speak with me, and then the voice starts to speak in a very weird manner that something bad will happen. What if this doesn't happen? What if you are like in a pitfall? What if you're under threat? And what if your happiness is snatched away, your peace is snatched away? All these weird thoughts come to me. And the main issue is I can't share freely with people, because even if I share, people do support me, but there is no inner satisfaction. There is no, because people, no matter they help me physically, but still I have this pattern. I don't know how to cure this, and this is there in me since many years. मुझे पता ही नहीं है कैसे इसको फील करना है, blissful state को. And what about the friends that I have made, I hang out with? वो तो I worry about some issue, it's okay, but what about other my contacts? I hang out with them, yeah. And I also have a very good habit of sharing my every day-to-day basis with my contacts also. So that will get वो फिर शेयर करने के लिए तो कुछ बचेगा नहीं फिर, तो ये भी चीज होगी ना. And जब खुश रहूंगा तो मैं क्या शेयर करूँ कि मैं खुश हूं करके, एंड व्हाट पीपल विल टेल देम, तो हम क्या करेंगे खुशी से, तो हमें क्यों बता रहा है? सो देयर आर सेवरल थॉट्स, बट दैट्स फॉर ट्रू, दैट इज ट्रू। एक थॉट तो नहीं चल रहा है, मेनी मेनी थॉट्स आर गोइंग ऑन, एंड the joke is people don't even know that what I'm thinking in my mind. I am just thinking in my mind, and it is just going in my mind. So what's the solution? करूँ क्या मैं अभी? ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है कि अगर मैं सच में खुश रहूं और मैं किसी को बताऊं ना, बस मैं खुश रहूं, and people start to notice me, and then they ask me that because people will ask, that's true. उनकी आदत है पूछने की कि और भाई क्या चल रहा है लाइफ में बताओ. So people will ask me. So if they ask me, then naturally, if I'm joyous and blissful, I will tell them that I'm very happy. And then on the very first day, they won't ask me कि like और बताओ क्या क्या कर रहे हो तुम. But there will be a mohar, or there will be a contract signed energetically that the person will again ask someday. और भाई मेरा स्ट्रेस चल रहा है, तुम बताओ तुम खुश हो, तुम क्या. देन आई कैन स्टार्ट टू explain more. Then I can start to increase my this blissful side. And once I do this, what respect I will get, what appreciation I will get, then I will get the true love from people that I am able to help them. तो ये चीज का तो बेनिफिट तो है, बट हाँ, still now I have not realized this. अब चलो थोड़ा टैपिंग करने के बाद थोड़ा सा लग तो रहा है, बिकॉज लाइक नाउ आई एम ओपनिंग अप माई माइंड एंड लिटरली टॉकिंग टू माई माइंड, बिकॉज एक साथ टेबल पे बैठना जरूरी भी तो था कि चलो भाई आखिर थोड़ा बैठते हैं, बात बात करते हैं कि भाई तुम क्यों ये पैटर्न लेके बैठे हो. सो नाउ if I follow this, then real connection will be developed. Yes, I can do that. Or I should open now to do it. And what if then challenge comes? Because ऐसा तो है नहीं ना कि problems नहीं आएंगे, challenges नहीं आएंगे. Then what to do at that point then? Then what about the connection with the supreme power? If the power has sent you and if you are the part of that power, then why can't you build a connection, a faithful connection with that power? And once you get blissful, why can't you have that resilience inside you that now I'm able to face the problem more efficiently rather than going into negatively? So yes, I am ready now to be blissful, to feel joyous, a natural joy that flows through my nervous system, that flows through my body and radiates through my aura. That's a great thing. That is actually a great thing. And actually, I will do something in the society. Yes, definitely. And probably God will also be happy with me that इसको भेज के मैंने सही किया धरती पे. वरना अगर ये ऐसे ही चला जाता तो शायद फिर से भेजना पड़ता धरती पे कि जब तक तुम ये लेसन नहीं सीखोगे मैं तुम्हें भेजता ही रहूंगा. So probably this is a good cause for from the gods. Now take a deep breath. So this is how I do actually. Priya, just unmute yourself.
Yes, I'm feeling very lighter, and I was also overthinking about something like a future worry. Now I'm feeling like okay, सब हो जाएगा. And I think it has really been a pattern. Like if we are really truly connected to the God or higher power, whatever we feel in, then we shouldn't worry. Like that there have been so many times in our past that we were always taken care of. Still, we have this fear that will I be able to handle those situations, those circumstances? Because if you are truly connected to the higher power, then you will know that no matter what, I'm always taken care of. Maybe even if the challenging situation comes, it is here to teach me something. It is not here to punish me or to make me weak. It is just there to so that I can move to the next level of my life in terms of my capabilities, in terms of my emotions. I think that perspective will really change when we really sit down and face life situations and being connected to the higher powers. True.
And actually, also, Priya, the state of blissfulness or the state of joyous is very subjective. Means different people will feel different in that blissful state. And in any case, if the blissful state is a very higher frequency, okay, and where when you are vibrating in higher frequency, the lower level problems won't also manifest in your life.
Yeah.
That's also a very strong possibility with the law of attraction also. That because once I'm vibrating at higher frequency now, I will have that perceptional eyes to look positive in every situation. Also, we can do another round of tapping also if suppose others wants to do that. Conditioned our mind to have that eyes, perceptional eyes to look positive in every situation. So
Yeah.
we can have another like that kind of thing also. If
And
the,
yeah.
the person wants to really become very resilient.
Okay. And one thing I would really realize, when you really go for a higher purpose, then you will also get the kind of people, the kind of books or kind of resources that really help you to move forward in your life. Maybe currently, I'm in a particular state and I want to go to that state, and that is really meant for me. Then no matter, I don't know how, but you are going to get that kind of people, that kind of mentors, that kind of opportunities that are really going to help you to that higher level, and which I have really
Yes.
in personal life realized, uh, like when you're really meant for something, things just happen. Like for example, if I talk about, there are certain coaching community I want to be a part, and I was really hesitant in joining because of the financial constraint that I had. But because that was meant to for me, I somehow got the money and I enrolled on those courses, and I was able to enroll and work on myself. And like it really felt like if when you're really meant for something, na, things will go effortless. And if something is not meant for you, then you will struggle. You will really struggle a lot. So I that is also a kind of signal that if something is really not happening with you, that is not meant for you. So just let go. And the things that are happening for you effortlessly, that are truly meant for you, just keep doing.
Yes, yes, yes. And with some people, what happens, even if the people are now ready to vibrate at higher frequency, and but still they have a huge block that यार मैं लेकिन इन लोगों को नहीं छोड़ सकता.
Yeah.
They have many people have this thing. Like अगर मैं वहां पर चले जाऊंगा, and this is the reason people fear a lot of getting rich also, because वही वाली चीज हो गई कि like बचपन से मैं हम रहा यहाँ पर रह रहे, that kind of thing is coming now. लाइक अगर मैं वहां पर चला जाऊंगा तो ये फिर पीछे छूट जाएंगे, एंड आई विल लीव दिस पीपल. सो
Yeah.
EFT also works beautifully in this case. Like you can address all the emotions regarding this. But that's for true. uh, Either people will disappear or they will come with you.
Yeah.
That's going to happen.
Yes, like the people who are meant for your journey, I don't know from where you are going to, that people are going to come. And the people who are not part of your journey anymore, something will happen. You may feel like
Yes.
there was no something like a fight happened, but still that person went away from the life, because I think that was not a part of your journey of going forward. So I really felt that that when you maybe vibrate at a different frequency, you connect to different kind of people, you resonate with certain kind of people, and those things automatically get away from your life. So yes, it really happens that disconnect. You connect to certain kind of people and you disconnect from certain kind of people. You don't resonate with the talks that they have. Like for example, maybe initially I was uh, there. It is common to talk about the struggles, to cope, talk about money issues. But now it more feels like ki tap on your issues and go forward for making more money or do better in your relationship. So that mindset switch I have really experienced because of this tapping and being a part of a different communities. It is true.
Yes, yes, yes. And like our emotional addiction also, like our emotional addiction, with consumption addiction also we have to, like I have replaced this worry with connection with the supreme, and serving to the, likewise also in consumption addiction also, we have to replace the addiction with something which mind is agreeing to it. Otherwise, if mind doesn't agree, or if the mind is not comfortable, it can switch back to addiction. So through EFT tapping, it is very very possible to
Mhm.
release, or we literally we are emptying the space. Through EFT tapping, what we do, we are emptying the space, and the space
Yeah,
is like a barren land. Now it looks very weird, like something is barren.
yeah,
It doesn't very soothing to the eyes. Something has to grow, either weeds or mango trees.
yeah.
So then we have to also implant certain things which the mind is accepting it. So through, actually through various aspects only, we will come to know that what the mind is comfortable in accepting if it leaves certain things.
I
So
think, yeah.
like this should be the approach.
I just reminded of the one thing that Mitesh says, कि either you are growing consciously or either you are like decaying unconsciously. So if you are not
Yes.
consciously working on your mindset, then unconsciously you are getting degraded. So I think that is happening with our mind. If we are not consciously putting
True.
our positive mindset, positive beliefs, positive thoughts in our mind, then unconsciously it will go to negative patterns, negative emotions, negative beliefs. So yeah, it is very true.
Or else one more option is to instill the fear regarding that addiction. It is
Okay.
very much counter active, but still, like no, I didn't use the second approach. I used the first approach only. In my case, regarding my MTV shows, I replaced that addiction through reading self-help books, because
Okay.
already I had some interested in reading that. This is the reason it was very easy for me. But what about the people who are not at all interested in reading books? Then we have to search for another thing, through to which the mind is because mind thinks that the thing that we are going to install, it should not be very toxic to the body or to the mind overall. So this is actually the approach to,
Okay.
like in the case of cycle wala chacha, because I replaced literally the smoking habit. Then I installed uh, enhanced social interaction. Means
Okay.
when you are free, go and interact with the people, because you're already outside and
Mm.
there are people around you. Then replace this with enhanced social interaction.
Okay, so
Then
you replace his smoking addiction कि अब उनको जब
yeah,
भी craving होगी then he will just go and talk with people. That would be a more productive
yes,
way than instead of going
yes,
to the bad habit. And for your case, you did it like replacing your watching habit to the reading habit because something needs to be
yes.
there that can replace. And that, yeah, that's true.
Well, the ultimate goal is to connect with the Supreme only, because we are all here, the spiritual beings in the human
Mm.
form.
Yeah.
The ultimate goal is actually connecting to the Supreme. But right now, everyone has different journeys. So, with respect to their journeys, we have to find out alternative thing which can ward off the addiction effect. So that
Okay.
that one.
So my next question is Mayur, this like if any person who is watching this podcast and wants to have three suggestions from your side, like what are the three ways that they can replace their addiction of bad habits with the right habits? What are the three things that they can do at the initial level? Because at the initial level, when people don't have that support to deal with their addiction with someone else, what they can do on personal level to remove that addiction?
Okay. First thing is to acknowledge that I have these bad habits,
Yeah.
because in any which ways people do know that they have bad habits, but in the wake of, as I said, safety, feeling safe and survival, Even though people are aware, they tend to ignore it, that
Yeah.
okay, but we first is addressing, first is accepting, and first is minimizing that urge, the urge of having something. Once the urge is minimized, in any which ways we are neutral, in any which ways we are blank at that time. So that is a good situation as compared to addiction. And then actually the beauty of EFT, while tapping only you start to get insights that what should I do now, because
Okay.
mind only gives the suggestions that if you're removing this something, then give me this. So mind only starts to communicate, because we're literally communicating with our mind now.
Yeah.
हाँ. And then mind only start, ठीक है तुम ये चीज तो मुझसे नहीं कर सकते, तो मुझे ये वाली चीज दे दो फिर, और इतने सालों से मैंने एक्सपीरियंस भी नहीं किया, so I want to experience this now, then give me this. So through tapping we can safely move like this, we can transit.
Okay. First, do the tapping on whatever addiction they have.
Yes,
Then,
yes.
second, when you tap, you will get to that neutral state. And when in that neutral state, you will get ideas कि मैं इस हैबिट को किन हैबिट्स के साथ जरूर रिप्लेस कर सकता हूँ. And then just work on those habits. And that will really help you to overcome that addiction. And there needs to be something to replace that bad habit.
Yes, because
Okay.
like our round now, negative round, hope round, and positive round.
Yeah.
Through our we install what has been deleted, not deleted, what has been released.
Yeah.
Then we are installing that thing. Otherwise,
Okay.
on the barren land, again weeds will grow because they have the tendency to grow faster than mango trees.
Yeah.
That's why.
So that is very true. So thank you so much, Mayur, for connecting today. And it was
Yeah.
so like one thing which I realized from the entire session is like sometimes we just focus on giving up the addiction, but not replacing it with the right habits. Because that was a major realization for me that we need to replace with something good. Like it could be for someone, it could be walking. Like if they have the craving of eating junk food, they can replace it with walking, dancing, listening music.
Yes.
Okay, just give any 3 or 4 suggestions from your side, like the way they can replace their habit. Like for one is watching TV or reading books. Any other?
Reading books, then obviously enhanced social interaction is so much powerful thing.
Yeah.
But people don't do it easily now because there are certain other aspects that people are not trustworthy. Then people are
Are judging
they take
me.
advantage of me. They don't give me importance. Other things are also there.
Yeah.
But yes, but this should be the case. Then another thing should be action oriented or ambitious, becoming ambitious. Then another thing is to, if the person wants to do something to achieve his dream, then he can instill or she can instill the the passion or the fire to achieve the dream or the passion that can be done. So
Yeah.
there are actually several
Yeah.
things to.
And one thing which I have realized, Mayur, also, that when we are doing the release of whatever addiction we are having, if we really want to install even new habit, na, just repeat, like do a tapping round, like I love reading books. I love reading books. I love reading books. I really love reading books. When you really tap and say those new habits, they really form a deeper connection, which I have realized. Like I'm doing this for the money area. I'm feeling more comfortable in the area of money because of that tapping. So they can, if they really want to start new habit, just tap and say that new habit that I love talking to people, I love talking to people, I love talking to people. And after doing that tapping, then go for those activities. They will feel more confident in doing that activity.
Yes,
Otherwise, yeah,
it actually, what? I want to do something which I have
yeah,
never done in my life. It is difficult. So, but EFT, what EFT makes it very easy for me to do that
yeah,
work. In any which ways, I have to take action. I have to do karma. But that resistance is also there now.
yeah.
That I need to do that action, but how should I do that?
Mm.
So EFT makes it very easy
Yeah.
to perform that task, to perform that action.
Really, even I would like to share one of my experience that
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
I was making a landing page for a particular my webinar, and I find it so much difficult of making that landing page. I was like, why it is so difficult? Then I tap and release whatever complaints I had towards making that landing page, and in 2 or 3 days I was able to make that landing page on my by myself. So that has really helped me, that first release the stress, because unless and until we don't acknowledge that issue, we are not even able to take action. Before that, I was not able to make sit and make that website and do those changes. But when I tab and release those complaints that I had towards the landing page, then I was able to, okay, I can do it. So that was really,
Yeah, but in any which ways, you know what? Almost 99% of the people do self-talk. 99% of the people. Those who do verbally, they are assumed like mad people. Okay. But in the mental talk is always going in. Then
yeah.
why not to tap and then talk? It's a very efficient thing.
And
So
one thing I have realized, like when I got to know about this, like doing the negative round or the hope and bridge and the final
hmm,
positive round, I feel like maybe it is not just negative, it is the reality of how I feel. Maybe in
yes,
society's perception it could be wrong, it could be, how can you be angry, how can you be find things difficult, how can you be like lose your patience. But this is the reality of my feeling, and when I tap, I think I feel like I give myself a permission to be myself, of voicing out what I'm feeling. And when I give that space, I think one, that is very empowering. And when I tapping, then those emotions are getting released. Then automatically, when once we acknowledge whatever is bothering us and tap, we automatically come to a place of calm. We don't need to specifically create
yes,
the calm, but we go into that neutral calm state, and then we do typing for the positive, that I can do this, I can handle this, it is okay, still I love and accept myself. Then we are more uh, better in approaching things, which I find, and I really feel like it is just giving yourself a voice to be yourself and expressing yourself.
yes. Because like I was doing that, चिंता करने से मैं नहीं करूंगा तो क्या होगा? why
Mhm.
why should not do even for the self help books? What will happen if I read self help books? क्या होगा उससे? जिंदगी एक मिनट में थोड़ी चेंज हो जाएगी. Means these are our actually resistances,
Yeah, this is.
which are our small voices which are not letting us to do something.
Mhm.
And while typing we have to release those voices also. Then it
Yeah.
becomes much easy to achieve the thing
So
that we are
yeah,
about to.
basically,
That
it is
kind.
the reality that is currently going in our mind. The more we acknowledge and tap, the more we are able to release.
And with meditation, another very powerful. Just sit in the meditation and just visualize that uh, whole कि जब मेरे साथ ये ऐसा होता है, then how I try to this through meditative tapping, that is very powerful. That releases
Okay.
within one session also, because
Yeah.
at that
And
time you're literally tuned into that problem.
even before doing meditation, do the tapping. Just because sometimes people are not able to meditate because
Yeah,
they are not able to sit with their thoughts. They feel like this is too much to handle. Then just tap and release those whatever is bothering you, and then go to meditative state. Then you will be more into deeper and relaxed state, which I have felt.
and actually I also suggest meditation as a replacement also. One of
Okay.
my replacement is
That's great.
meditation.
That's great
Yeah.
suggestion. Ki replace bad habits with meditation. It could be deep
Yeah.
breathing or it could be anything.
But
That's
in,
fine.
but in this case also, meditation and addiction are totally opposite things. And and we have to do a lot of depends on the person to person. Like people actually do addiction to feel that blissful state only, if we have to see. Because if something they consume and they feel blissful, they feel good. And this is the reason meditation also I recommend
Okay.
to replace,
So
because after meditation also we feel good.
feel blissful. So if you want to have that blissful experience, either go for the consuming these things or go for the meditation, and it would be a more
Yeah.
healthier option. So that's, yeah,
Yes.
that's the right way. So
Yes. And in which case, by dancing, by interacting with people, you also feel good. So choose for that healthier options. But mind will not get ready because we know that it is not good for our health. But mind says, "Heh, I don't pay any heed. I will do what I want to do." So mind needs to first trained
Yeah,
because huh, mind will not accept easily.
आई थिंक पहले माइंड को स्पेस दो कि बोलो जो भी आपके मन में है रिगार्डिंग दैट पर्टिकुलर थिंग, स्पीक दैट आउट नाउ.
Like in my personal thing also, when I was training myself for meditation, what inner voice was telling me, 24 घंटे में तो शांत नहीं बैठ सकते, 1 घंटे में क्या ऐसे तुम निकाल लोगे. This was my inner resistance or inner my voice. It's like people have this kind of voices, but
Yeah.
in the form of either thoughts or in the form of feelings. Like 24 घंटे में तो तुम कंप्लेन करते फिर रहे हो, 1 घंटे में या 1 मिनट में 10 मिनट में ऐसा क्या ही हो जाएगा. So means ultimately what's the point? So that number.
So thank you so much, Mayur, for connecting with us and helping us know deeper about addiction. And it was a truly a good tapping experience of, and I am now ready to let go of this pattern of worrying. Like it is become so common that we need to worry about future.
Yeah.
But it may be
It's
also a conditioning.
yes. It's our conditioning because we unconsciously model people.
Yeah.
And
Our
we try
parents,
to
our ancestors, the people around us, because it has been normal. Like, how can you not take tension of future, of money, of different areas of life? And if you are not taking tension, then you must be something doing wrong because that is not a usual pattern. So that
and
was a bigger realization.
not only about parents, also about also in our school teachers do
Yeah,
a lot of programming also because you are doing this, you don't have right to, like, you go and sit in the last row, you're not eligible to sit in the first row because you are scoring less. So that kind of that programs
conditioning
our
is
mind
happening. Yeah,
somewhere.
conditioning is happening at a subconscious level. Yeah, true.
Yeah, yeah, like
Now I'm realizing like how much important it is to give the children, especially in the age of 0 to 7, right kind of conditioning, because that is going to create a kind of a different life. If that person has a different conditioning, it is all the conditioning. So realizing the importance of what kind of thoughts we are giving to your kids, to the people who are in school. So the role is so much important of the teachers, of parents.
and even the child who is coming regularly first in the school, that child is also under intense pressure to
Pressure,
prove everything,
pressure, true.
to prove and if the child fails by mistakenly in the future, that child, the chances of him getting devastated is more
Yeah,
rather than the last benchers.
because he or she must have defined her or his self-worth with getting that top position, and when in the reality they come out of those schools and colleges and they face the competition or the world, then they are not able
Yes,
to match to that standards, and then they may feel a sense of, am I what now what I do, now I'm not able to feel that good enough feeling that I usually get. And true.
but our subconscious mind is not a child. It's like even though we are children at that age, but our subconscious mind is still registering everything that is happening around us, and that mind was scanning continuously what is negative happening, who is my competition, who is threat to me. uh, I'm feeling also helpless because the child by itself is not able to take independent decisions. The child is not even allowed to speak that I don't agree with you. Can
Yeah.
he tell to the teacher, I don't agree with you, I will go my own way. So might has at that age only it has condition, and
Yeah,
then those beliefs manifest
in our
in the later
reality.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even I was attending one of the session by Dr. Monica, and she was telling that 70% of our subconscious get programmed in the womb, and the 90% condition get conditioned at the age of 7. So how much subconscious
Yes.
program our mind has been programmed till the age of 7. After that, we are just replaying those memories or those conditioning, those beliefs. So I was that time I really realized that how much important it is to have a right conditioning when during the pregnancy or in the initial 7 years of age, because that is creating a different life for that particular kid, because that is how now we are trying to change the programming that we had in our times, but that is the very delicate age to condition a kid. So now I'm realizing how much important is to have that right beliefs, right feelings to imbibe in the children, so that they really have that potential if we really
Yes.
leave those conditioning behind. So true.
But when initially working with addiction, we don't need to delve deep into our childhood patterns.
Yeah.
Initially, we need to work on addiction only. But slowly, as we are progressing, later sessions, then we can dwell deep. Actually, our mind only starts to give the memories. Actually, then we can
Yeah.
also ask questions like from where it has come and from what. So like slowly, we can go and we can heal the root patterns also. Like that we can.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Mayur, for joining today. And it was a wonderful session. Got to learn a lot about addiction. And as I always say, thank you so much for introducing EFT to me at a very much deeper
Yeah.
level. And so I'm really grateful. And I'm going to share Mayur's details in the description box as well as the comment box. So if anybody would like to connect with Mayur individually, then you can get the details in the description. So thank you so much, Mayur.